Hello and welcome back to the tutorial. In this video I want to show you how to create a box plot in ggplot. In order to do so, I'm gonna load the tidyverse library and this advertising sales dataset that we've seen before. I'm again changing the store ID variable to a factor. Let's have a look at this. So we have one column for sales, one column for advertisements, and then store 1 and store 2 in the store variable. So I'm just passing this data set to ggplot and set x equal to store in order to separate it out by the store ID and y equal to the sales. In order to add a boxplot layer, I am just calling boxplot. We don't have to add any additional variables or commands here since we've specified everything directly in the ggplot command. And I'm again changing the x and y labels to something appropriate. And in this case, I'm also showing you how to add a theme. For example, this is the theme BW, black and white, which we are also using on our website. Of course, you can change this out to something that you like. So let's have a look at the plot. So as we can see, we have the number of sales as we've specified on the y-axis and store 1 and store 2. I just want to talk briefly about the interpretation of a boxplot. A boxplot shows you certain quantiles of your data. The first line is the 25th percentile. So this is really saying 25% of the values are below this value and 75% of the values are above it. The second thick line is the 50th percentile, such that half of the values are above this value and half of the values are below. And the third is the 75th percentile, such that 25% of the values are above and 75% of the values are below this value. So this already gives us a lot of information about the distribution of our data. For example, if we compare the two groups, we see that the values in store 2 are more spread out. In addition, we have here this point that is kind of separate from our boxplot, which we interpret as an outlier. So this is a value that is particularly far away from the other values in our sales column. One more thing that we could do is add the points, the specific points to this plot using jitter. In this case, this is very similar to point, but in this case we want to use jitter to add some random noise to the points so that they don't overlap in our plot. So of course the x-axis here, the difference in the x-axis here has absolutely no interpretation since this is just store 1 and store 2. But through this jitter, we kind of spread out the points over the x-axis so they're more visible to us, and so we can see kind of how many points there actually are rather than them just being on top of each other and we can't really tell how many they are. So this is it for the boxplot. Thank you very much for watching and see you soon.